Welcome to Staffworks Explained. If you are here for the first time, please consider subscribing to this channel. In this video, we'll be talking about RVDT Tech City, which is a Kenya 50 billion vision that could redefine Nakuru's future. Every great city reaches a defining moment. This is a point where it must decide whether to continue growing as it has always done or reinvent itself for a different future. For Nakuru, that moment have arrived. A proposal by Rift Valley Development Trust, RVDT, to establish a technology-driven special economic zone on the outskirts of Nakuru has stirred excitement, curiosity, and debate in equal measure. If implemented as envisioned, the project would transform nearly 5,000 acres of land into an integrated technology city designed to accommodate innovation, business, research, housing, commerce, and modern urban living. It represents one of the most ambitious privately initiated urban development proposals to emerge in Kenya in the recent years. Yet, despite the excitement surrounding the proposal, the project remains exactly that, a proposal. It has not broken ground, no construction timelines has officially been announced, and several statutory approvals remain outstanding. That distinction is important because successful mega projects are built not on ambitious drawing, but on sound planning, regulatory compliance, financing, and public confidence. So in this video, we examine the proposed Rift Valley Development Trust Tech City in detail. We talk about its location, the design, cost, purpose, special economic zone status, implementation pathway, opportunities, risks, and what must happen before the first foundation is laid. The proposed development is planned on approximately 199.4 hectares, about 483 acres, on land reference Nakuru Municipality Block 40/2, which was formerly LR number 222771/3 within Nakuru West sub-county. The site lies roughly 4 kilometers northwest of Nakuru City and northwest of Lake Nakuru, which with access from the Nakuru Eldoret Highway A104 and Njoro Road, among other access roads. Its proximity to one of the Kenya's busiest transport corridors give it a logistical advantage, allowing future investors to access to road transport connecting Nairobi, Western Kenya, Uganda, and wider East African region. According to the Environment Impact Assessment EIA submitted to the National Environment Management Authority NEMA, the development is envisioned as a fully integrated technology and innovation city rather than a conventional industrial park. Instead of concentrating on factories alone, the master plan combines technology, commerce, residential development, and public service into one planned urban ecosystem. The estimated investment cost has been reported to be approximately 50 billion Kenya shillings, although the environment study itself does not publicly disclose the financing structure, funding sources, or strategic investors expected to finance the development. Whether the investment will come entirely from private capital, institutional investors, development finance, or planned partnership, that has not been publicly clarified. At the heart of the proposal is the ambition to build more than office blocks. The city is designed as a mixed-use development where technology companies, research institutions, educational facilities, commercial enterprises, and residents coexist within one master planned environment. The proposed component include technology parks, innovation centers, research and development facilities, commercial office space, retail centers, hotels, conference facilities, educational institutions, healthcare services, residential neighborhoods, recreation parks, internal road networks, water supply systems, sewer infrastructure, electricity distribution, telecommunication infrastructure, waste management facility, and public open spaces. The objective is to create a city where business, workers, and families can live, work, and innovate without depending entirely on Nakuru's existing urban infrastructure. This planning approach reflects a principle increasingly adopted in modern urban development known as mixed-use planning. Simply put, instead of separating residential areas from workplaces and commercial centers, different land uses are integrated within one neighborhood. The result is shorter commuting distances, more efficient infrastructure, and greater economic activity throughout the day. Perhaps the most significant aspect of the proposal is intention to operate as a special economic zone. A special economic zone is legally designed area where businesses operate under a different investment framework from the rest of the country. Companies established within an approved special economic zone may qualify for incentives such as preferential tax treatment, custom facilitation, simplified licensing procedure, and infrastructure specifically designed to support manufacturing, exports, and high-value services. The objective is straightforward: reduce the cost of doing business sufficiently to attract local and foreign investment that might otherwise choose competing destinations. Kenya established this framework through Special Economic Zone Act to strengthen industrialization, expand exports, and create employment. However, there is an important legal distinction that should not be overlooked. Although the proponent RVDT proposes developing the project as a special economic zone, publication of an environment impact assessment does not in itself confer the special economic zone status. Environmental approvals, planning approvals, and gazettement under the Special Economic Zone Authority are separate regulatory processes. Publicly available documents did not yet indicate that the project has completed every statutory step required for formal operation special economic designation. That distinction matters because many of the fiscal incentives associated with special economic zone only become available after the appropriate legal approvals have been granted. If successfully established, the project could significantly reshape Nakuru's economic profile. Nakuru has traditionally been recognized as an agricultural, logistics, and commercial center. The city already benefits from strategic positioning along the northern corridor, growing population, expanding universities, and improving infrastructure. Technology focused on special economic zone would diversify that economic base by creating opportunities in software development, business processes outsourcing BPO, digital services, research and advanced manufacturing, logistics, fintech, education, and innovation. Such diversification is increasingly important because economies dependent on a narrow range of activities become more vulnerable during downturns. Technology industries tend to generate high-skilled employment, stimulate knowledge transfer, and support smaller business through supply chains ranging from catering and transport to construction and professional services. The proposal also aligns with Kenya's broader policy direction under Vision 2030, which seeks to decentralize investment away from Nairobi and strengthen regional cities as independent economic engines. Rather than competing directly with Konza Technopolis, Nakuru's proposal has the potential to complement the Konza by extending Kenya innovation ecosystem further into the Rift Valley. Beyond economics, the development carries significant implications for urban planning. Unlike many Kenyan towns that have expanded organically over decades, the proposed tech city offers an opportunity to plan infrastructure before large-scale settlement occurs. Roads, drainage, electricity, fiber connectivity, water supply, public transport, and green space can be integrated from the onset rather than retrofitted later at significantly higher cost. Experience across world consistently shows that planned urban growth is considerably less expensive than correcting poorly planned expansion after development has already taken place. Nevertheless, successful execution will depend less on architectural renderings than disciplined project management. Large infrastructure projects generally progress through several sequential phases. The proposal is currently within the environment and regulatory stage. Submission of environment impact assessment, initiate technical review by NEMA, consultation with government agencies, and the public participation. During public participation, residents, institutions, and stakeholders have an opportunity to examine the proposal, raise concerns, recommend conditions before then any environmental license is issued. If the approval is granted, the project would still require compliance with physical planning requirements, infrastructure approvals, utility coordination, investment mobilization, procurement, engineering design, and where applicable, approvals relating to the special economic zone framework before fully implemented. Only after these regulatory milestones are completed would site preparation, infrastructure construction, and vertical development start. Given the project scale, development would almost certainly occur in phases rather than simultaneously. A practical implementation sequence would typically begin with roads, drainage, water supply, electricity, fiber infrastructure, and sewer system. These essential services form the backbone upon which commercial building, residential development, and institutional facilities can subsequently be constructed. Planned implementation also reduces financial risk because infrastructure can support early investors while subsequent phases continue attracting additional capital. Like every mega project, however, the proposal faces substantial challenges. Financing remains perhaps the largest. Large mixed-use development requires billions of shillings over many years. Investor confidence depends not only on attractive master plan, but also on stable policy, regulatory certainty, infrastructure readiness, and predictable return. Land use presents another sensitive issue. The proposed site currently includes agricultural land. Balancing industrial development with food production, environmental conservation, and community interests will require careful planning and transparent stakeholder engagement. Infrastructure demand will also be considerable. A technology city cannot function with unreliable electricity, inadequate water supply, or weak internet connectivity. Investors in the technology industries expect uninterrupted utilities, efficient transport, and modern digital infrastructure. Delivering these services require closer coordination between national government, county government, and utility providers, as well as private investors. Environmental sustainability represents another critical consideration. The site's proximity to environmentally sensitive landscape means stormwater management, biodiversity conservation, water disposal, and pollution control cannot be treated as afterthoughts. Modern developments increasingly succeed when sustainability is integrated into engineering design rather than added after construction begins. Perhaps the least discussed challenge is occupancy. Constructing impressive buildings is one achievement. Filling them with productive business is another. Globally, several technology cities have struggled because infrastructure expanded faster than investment demand. For Nakuru's proposal to succeed, attracting anchor investors who are major institutions or multinational companies whose presence encourages others to follow will be just as important as constructing physical infrastructure. This is where the city's existing strength may become an advantage. Unlike entirely greenfield developments built far from the existing urban centers, Nakuru already possesses universities, hospitals, financial institutions, transport links, an established workforce, and a growing commercial economy. These assets could shorten the time required for businesses to establish operations compared to developments starting from the scratch. Transparency will ultimately determine public confidence. Regular disclosure of implementation milestones, financing arrangements, investor commitment, and regulatory approvals would strengthen credibility while reducing speculation. Large public interest developments attract greater investor confidence when governance structures are clear and accountability mechanisms are visible. The proposed RVDT Tech City is, without questions, one of the most ambitious urban development concepts currently on the table in Kenya. Its scale reflects confidence in Nakuru's emergence as a regional economic powerhouse, while its focus on technology signals recognition that future prosperity will increasingly be driven by knowledge, innovation, and digital enterprise rather than traditional industries alone. Yet ambition itself does not build cities. Projects of this magnitude succeed when visionary planning is matched by discipline, execution, regulatory integrity, financial sustainability, and genuine public trust. Every approval must be earned, every environmental obligation honored, and every investment decision guided by long-term value rather than short-term excitement. For now, the RVDT Tech City remains an idea, moving from through the country's regulatory system. Whether it ultimately becomes East Africa's next innovation hub or joins the long list of unrealized mega projects will depend on decisions made over the coming months and year. If those decisions are sound, Nakuru may not simply witness another real estate development. It may witness the deliberate creation of an entirely new economic district, one designed not merely to accommodate growth, but to shape the future of direction of one of the Kenya's fastest growing cities. So thank you for reaching this far. If you are here for the first time, please consider subscribing to this channel. Watch other videos that you have made on this channel. You can leave a comment, like, or share. So thank you, and let's meet in the next one.